Hello everyone, Gravity Max here. So today we have a live stream, and it is on the Gravity Max YouTube channel. However, it is not a Gravity Max live stream because I do not have my fellow co-host with me today. Here I'm just, bored at home, so I'm gonna be designing the Gravity Max live stream season 3 color palette and everything. So you may remember season 1 looking like this, and then season 2 looking like this. So we're going to make a third season, and we're just going to talk, and I'm going to open up. I'll be right back. I need to get my social media desk, and I will be able to respond to your comments. So just give me a second. Alright. So today I am live, not from my office space. I'm just in my bedroom. Very casual little live stream here, just so that if anyone's bored during the day, they can have something to watch. And if you're not watching it live, maybe you can watch it back. Hopefully this serves to entertain you while you're stuck inside. So if you're anything like me, you might be getting, I wouldn't quite say fed up, but just kind of inundated with news and just people talking about the censored virus. So I'm going to try and keep that chatter to a minimum today. Oh, hello, Jan McCarthy. So we have our first comment. But yeah, I'm going to try and keep that chatter to a minimum today. And so hopefully this will lighten the mood and we can chat and discuss. Also, you may have noticed the thumbnail that I picked for this video. I was just going through the pictures I had saved on my computer, and this was one of them. It is Atlas holding the world on his shoulders, except Atlas has been labeled Ohio. Just a little inside joke. Some of you guys may get it, just the legendariness of the state of Ohio. Anyways, so let's begin. Okay. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to make is this. Alright. So right now, I've been thinking of a green theme for this third season. So this season is going to be green because it'll be taking place during spring and early summer. So I think that's an appropriate theme. And I was also thinking RGB, red, green, blue. Those are the three colors used to make computer screens work, liquid crystal displays. They have 3 different colored pixels. So this is going to be the green season, and then I was thinking fall season 5 could be red, and then that leaves summer to be blue, which doesn't really fit that well with summer, but red does fit well with fall, so, just gonna have that, right? Alright, so we move from black and white, very yin-yang style, to greens, so that'll be interesting. So let's play with some hex codes. So we start with just plain green, and plain green is, I'm not sure if I'll use it. Plain green is very harsh, I would say. Oh, just forgot, Silas is still here. Let's get him out of there. That's horrifying. Silas is not happy with the events of yesterday's live stream. Things did not go well for him. Silas lost $2,000. Anyways, though, so I find green to be fairly harsh, pure green, relative to pure blue and pure red. I mean, they're all pretty harsh, but blue's probably the calmest. But I think it's something with how our eyes work, is that our eyes are the most sensitive to green light. Because we have red, green, and blue color receptors in our eyes. And I believe it's the red and blue ones aren't as frequent on your eye as the green ones are. So the green ones occur more often. So green is more intense and overpowering, which, yeah, so you'll see that once we start playing with these hex values. For instance, right, if we had 0, 0, FFFF, right, then we get our cyan. But halfway between green and cyan is something that looks practically green. So 80. That should be halfway between cyan and green, but it looks very green. And this is even worse the other way, because, so FFFF00 gives you yellow. But if you have 80 FF00, then it looks very green as well. Like, you could say that's a lime green, but it's too close, basically. So we need to work around this overpowering factor of green to make something that looks good and doesn't just look like a mess of splotchy green colors, right? So that's going to be our challenge day. All right. So I'm going to try CO, FF, and then 4O to make it like whiter, to make it not as harsh, just to make it paler, pretty much. So that's like a lime green. Actually, I would put the lime green on the other side. And you'll see, you just want, the way that these titles work is that they have color contrast. So, well, actually, this one didn't. But I think it works better to have the blue color on the color that's not similar to blue and the purple color on the color that's not similar. But that's just for this time, at least. So, all right, so let's create our counter color, and this will just do a reverse. We'll flip the blue and the red, and we get something like this. So this gives us a pair of interesting colors. Yeah. So let's try implementing them. So we'll put that there, and that there. Okay, and then we need to change this to be sort of like an aggregate, some greenish color, so maybe like 00 CO00. All right. Okay, so that's looking decent, I would say. But we might want to toy around a bit so that we can find like the best, the optimal, uh, color scheme. All right. Oh yeah, and by the way, any comments, just leave them in the comments if anyone else is joining. Oh, it's just me and you, Jam. All right. But yeah, I'm just kind of fishing for like other people, just to have some conversations. Anyone that's around. So let's see. Yeah, that gets washed out a little bit. We'll fix that in a moment, but let's just see. So this could be that. This could be that. Oh, there we go. Okay, so then maybe we can move gravity over this way a bit. Oh, that'd be interesting. So that we can make the G have the opposite but appropriate color, which would be the lime green. And then we have the M, we can push it over here. We can give it the pale green. Yeah, okay. So I'm definitely seeing that these colors are a little muddy, I would say. And I'm trying to think of how to fix that. So I had some other possible designs, and I'm going to check on one of them just for reference so that we can take a look. This one I made, I was just making like a mission to Mars, a hypothetical mission to Mars, and I thought that might work for a live stream. Not sure if that's going to be the next live stream. Possibly. So you guys are getting a bit of a sneak peek, but okay. But this is what I made. So I have that harsh green, and I'm not sure. I do like this. So this is more about brightness. This is kind of like a green tinted version of Season 2. But let's see what colors we have here. So we just have a plain dark green, and then this is, I'm going to assume, a plain light green. Okay, so it's not entirely plain light green, it's tinted blue. So that's some interesting food for thought right there. Okay. What if we made, so we should try making one color brighter and one color darker. So since this is a lime green and more related to like the yellows and reds, I might make this one brighter and then the other one darker. I think that would make sense. So that would involve skewing everything toward the FF. So C, D, E, and this can go to 8. And then that gives you like a pale green. Pale greenish yellow. I would decrease the red factor here, actually. Just because it's looking a bit like not green enough. So let's make that DO. And there you go. That gives you some more of that color. Alright, so now we got to make this one darker. And to make it darker, you just have to skew everything away from the FF. So let's try 2, and then 8, and then that would be 6. Okay, so you get this like clayish color. And again, I would decrease the blue because it's looking far too blue. So 6 goes down to 5, let's say. Let's see how that works. Alright. Alright, so this is interesting. I would say we probably went a bit too far with the dimming and the brightening. So we can scale it back a bit. So let's reduce this to a 6.0, and we can reduce this to a CO. And then let's reduce this to, or increase this actually. Increase this to a CO, gives ourselves a 3.0 and a 6.0. Okay, so obviously this is getting washed out now, but we can fix that. I think these two colors work well together, so let's see how it pans out. So, bam, and bam. Yeah, okay. Now this, I don't want to go full on harsh green. Let's see, maybe we can go for a darker green. Let's just see what the plain harsh green would look like for this. Again, we don't want to like burn people's eyes out, you know? So, okay. Oh, and let's fix these. Let's update the colors here. Uh-oh. Oh, yes, okay. Makes sense. And what if we were to make this a harsh green? Yeah, okay. The harsh green is unpleasant generally. That's just the point. Harsh green does not work very well. Even here, it's not working entirely. So, let's replace the harsh green with a dark green. Just generally like, let's try a 004000. So that's practically black, except with a tiny amount of green added in. So, that gives us bam, bam, and bam. Also, I think I need to change this highlight color so that it actually matches the background again, which would be that. Okay. Alright. Okay. So that is looking a bit better. I think we can brighten up this green, this dark green, just a little bit, because the dark color, I think, is being washed out once it passes over the figures, you know, once it passes over the pictures of me and Sebastian. So, okay, this is looking really good, I would say. Um, just gotta think. Maybe we can pull the classic trick where we go with, okay, so Command C. First we copy this just to have it on file, then we make this white and bold, and then that gives us a highlight. Bam. So now we have a highlight so that it looks clear, even though it's like not necessarily, you know. So that works pretty well in most cases, especially with a large font. Once you have a smaller font, it doesn't work as well. So that's pretty fortunate here that we have. Let me Command Z a few times. Okay, this works well because we have like 72-point audio wide font. And it's also good that we use audio wide because not every font's bold feature like thickens its letters. Some like actually makes its letters larger so they won't overlap anymore, which is pretty annoying. Just for the sake of completion, I'm going to do this one as well. Let's see. So white, bold, and then Command V, 1, 2, 1, 2, and that works pretty well. Everything has fit into place, I would say. I like this color palette for Season 3. I think this works. We've got Gravity Max, Season 3. Oh yeah, maybe I should add back in the will be live momentarily. But maybe not, because usually this slide occurs when we're already live. Yeah, no, we don't need it. I think this looks good. Yeah, so we've got this works well. All right, so now let's go and get our other features or ancillary, like our channel thumbnail. Okay, so yesterday I changed the channel thumbnail. A bit of a PSA, you know, stay safe, right? So I'm going to take this thumbnail and greenify it for the Season 3 palette, and eventually, once this whole situation is over, who knows when that will be, but once it is, we can change back to the standard green and have a proper thumbnail. But yeah, this is just awareness. I don't want to give advice. There are plenty of videos on YouTube and just everywhere that will give you advice on how to be safe during this situation, right? And I'm not researched in this, so I'm not an expert. Oh, you see, I have the bold trick here. But you should definitely, you know, respect the, like, the suggestions made by your local governments, and definitely just keep yourself safe. So go do some research on that. I am currently, like, I'm doing things to stay clean. I'm washing my hands. Like twice a week, I'm Cloroxing, like wiping down all my electronics, like my computer, my iPad. What else am I doing? I'm also just keeping one water bottle to drink out of, and I'm washing that every day. Washing doorknobs, stuff like that. So, and of course, staying indoors. So, I would say probably do similar things for yourself, but everyone kind of has different circumstances and different situations. So just what works for me won't exactly work for you. So you have to do some research for yourself on that. Okay, so we're going to take the color palette here. Let's see, so this is just our fourth from last. Okay, and that's for the green. Or for the G, not the green. Everything's green this season. Okay, so fourth from last, and then the M color looks to be third from last. Okay. Yes, I am very well seasoned with Google presentations, I would say, which is pretty much just PowerPoint, except it's part of G Suite, so you're able to access it like on your phone, on your computer, anywhere. So I like that. I prefer this to, say, just Microsoft PowerPoint, which only works on your computer. Um, that's just how I like to do things personally. I like having access to things from anywhere, especially with my books, which you see this is draft 2 and this is an incomplete draft 3. Uh, I'll talk about that for a bit. But oh yeah, wrong thing. Okay. I'm pulling the bold trick here. So let's make this one the darker color. And then back into place. And this one will be the darker color again. And oh wow, my computer is not enjoying this. You can hear the fan probably. Uh, OBS takes quite a bit of CPU. Let's see, maybe I can dim the brightness a little bit. Close a few tabs. And I have another window of Google open, so I'll just close that. Okay, hopefully this will help reduce things. X out of that. Oh yeah, I'm reading Blue Mars, which is the third book in the Mars trilogy. Really good. I would suggest reading those, especially if you're bored. Like, these are long books, each of them, and there's 3 of them. I read the first one for my summer reading book in like 2018, like when I was going into freshman year of high school. And that's a year and a half ago. Now, I'll admit I wasn't like being fully dedicated to these books. I'm a little on and off with reading. It's difficult to maintain that because it's so much easier to just like watch something. It doesn't take as much energy, but it's a lot better for your mind just to actually read things. So, yeah, but these books will offer entertainment for a long time. So if you need that, purchase copies of these books. Probably on Amazon would be better so that it delivers so that you don't have to leave the house. But yeah, alright, so we've made the color palette for the channel thumbnail. And let's see, might as well just change it now. You also may notice the channel banner. Everyone's gone home for social isolation, social distancing. So yeah, so they're being healthy. All right, so let's just take a nice little screenshot of this, and we can put it on the channel. Okay, so we have, let's see, this starts at like 440, 450, so that's 440 for the first dimension. So 440 and like 440 and 170. Okay, so we need 440 by 170. And we can then take the screenshot. There we go. It's hard to take a screenshot of a circle without clipping the edges, but there we go. So just have to do some measurements, some pixel counts. Alright, so I will now go to my channel, YouTube Studio. Okay, let's go to View Channel. Okay, so let's change this. Alright, edit, so it'll take a few hours or whatever. Okay. So, upload photo, and let's take this. Alright. So that's done. So that'll be updating momentarily. You'll see that. So this is like an official start to Season 3. Of course, the Rento episode on Sunday, that is like that's like half and half. That's not fully Season 3 yet, but it's not Season 2 anymore, because the finale was definitely yesterday. So Rento's just a fun, like, intercalary period. So that's what that will be. Oh, also let me change this so that it's not just a meme of Ohio, and I can turn it into the thing that we just designed. Okay. So I'll take a screenshot of that and put that into the thumbnail. So that when people go to rewatch this, they won't be expecting memes anymore, which is probably good because, don't want to mislead people with the bounty of entertaining images. Yeah, we just made a fun design here today. So, there we go. Save. Okay. And now we can get back to the live controller. Alright, so I suppose we finished the main task for today, but there's still some other, like, update kind of things to talk about, so we can talk about that. Plenty of time to talk, Alright, so this is all set. Let me actually copy and paste this into our 301, even if it is not Mission to Mars, even if it's something else. Let's just get everything set. So yeah, that's decent, but I think we got something a lot better here. Bam. Okay. So, let's see. Oh yes, so we've altered this. So we have our disclaimer. We've made the red less harsh because, especially when contrasted with green, red looks horrible. So, yeah. So we fixed that. We made the links a little less bright, just kind of making everything more pleasing to the eyes. Truly Dead Rock, buy the book. That's another book that you can read if you're bored right now. Truly Dead Rock. So yeah, Mission to Mars, blah blah blah, Hopeman Transfer, Shape, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So that's pretty good. Okay. So now let's talk about my situation. Okay. So I presume many of you have similar situations going on right now, but for me, right, with school cancellation, uh, my school went on spring break, just pre-scheduled spring break, scheduled months before there were any problems. And that was supposed to be from the 12th until 22nd. So I was supposed to go back to school today. But I did not have school today. So yeah, Wednesday was my last day of school. I went home and, just did whatever. Then I took the SAT on the 14th, which was interesting. Of course, I can't talk about it because of all the non-disclosure stuff. Don't want to anger College Board. But yeah, I took the SAT just because I need to take dual enrollment classes next year, and they need to have an SAT score for that. So I'm not a junior yet, so I don't really need to take the SAT to for college applications yet. However, I did need them to take this dual enrollment course that I want to take next year. So yeah, so that was Saturday. Then we have the 15th, and the 15th was our stream. That was our the one before the finale. That was about, that was about the USSR. Oh, that was a great stream with the musical cues. That was fun. Go rewatch that. That was with Zach, who hopefully, if he's available, we'll have him on the 29th for Rento, because he bought some texture packs, which I'm like, wow, dedication. Yeah, so then this entire week, what have I been doing? Let me think. Not much, really, but just personal projects. Oh, well, I shouldn't say not much. I finished the second draft of my book. And the second draft, although it's the second draft, it's really the first complete draft because the story actually reached a conclusion. I ended the first draft about halfway through the story arc. So about halfway through the story arc, I'm like, okay, I'm seeing a few plot holes here. Let me go fix them, and then I can get back to finishing the story. So I did that. I've completed the story. So, it's at 232 pages. So that's a little bit shorter than my previous book, which was 314 pages. So Truly Dead Rock is 314 pages. And I want each book to hold equal weight in the trilogy, so I'm going to try and lengthen this. Definitely in the last few chapters. The last few chapters, I think, need some editing because they are 10 pages long, whereas the average chapter should be about 20 pages long. So I think that's just, I can have more description, more narration, more like details in the story. I think I was just trying, not rushing, but I think I was eager to get done with a first complete draft. But, A Truly Dead Rock went through 7 drafts by the time I published it, so, that's nothing to worry about. I will be able to add plenty of information. So that's where draft 3 comes in. Draft 3, I really just made a copy, the make a file, make a copy, wherever that is. Make a copy, here it is. I did that. So I made a copy of the second draft. And the black is what I have edited so far, and the red is what I have not. So I've added quite a bit. I've only edited half of the first chapter so far, and just with that, it's already a page and a half longer. So I'm adding stuff. So that's great. So that's the books. But yeah, the upcoming weeks, it's interesting because, well, let's see. So, of course, I'm off of school this week. So far, my school has been canceled until April 15th. So that would be the last day without school. And then I would go back on a Thursday. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to last, this, presumptive date to return to school. And the reason for that is that April the 16th is the first day of AP mock exams. So at my school, they, dedicate like a week to all of these exams, these AP mock exams. So it's not the actual AP exam. They give us like a mock of the AP exam, and that kind of serves as our final for the year. That serves as our grade because the AP exam is separate, but this is something similar to the AP exam, so it both prepares us and it gives us our grade for our classes, right? So, if this is the first day back, right, then what that means is they wanted to cancel as much school as possible without interfering with these tests. And of course, that means that if problems persist, then you have to cancel school and you have to interfere with the tests, So the fact that the school cancellation is just so obviously linked to these tests, it kind of casts doubt on this actually being the date of return. So it depends, if they flatten the curve, as everyone likes to say, if, well, it's just hard to say what's going to happen. And I don't want to comment on it too much, but basically, yeah, I am out of school until then. Of course, I will be having some online learning. That's supposed to start soon. This is the first day back of school. I haven't seen anything yet. Maybe I've missed an email or something. I haven't checked my email yet, and I haven't checked the school website yet. So I will check that after I'm done streaming today. But so far, no work yet. But over the next, let's see, 1 week, then we've got a second week, then a third week, then half of another week, and then back to school, possibly. So that's 3.5 weeks where I'll just be at home all day. I'll definitely have schoolwork, but you're probably going to see more streams like this. If you guys want to chat, you can just, leave your comments in the chat, and I'm just here to talk, So, yeah. So I'll just be working on things. Let's see. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to bust out some graphic design skills, and I'm going to make those medals for our game show wins yesterday. During the Silas game show, Sebastian and I, both of us had one perfect category. I think his was anatomy, and mine was history. So, yep, here we go. Anatomy, history. So, what I'll be doing is I'll be making a fun little Gravity Max styled, like 2 little medallions. So those will exist virtually. I'll probably post those on the Instagram, the Gravity Max Instagram. And I didn't give you guys warning today, like notification that this would be live. I was just hoping that some people would show up, and some people have. But tomorrow I will make a social media post because I know that you guys. I'm pretty much always on YouTube. I don't really use, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter that much, but I know that some of you guys do. So I will be putting those updates there tomorrow for when I decide to go live tomorrow. So yeah. So anyways, this is great. We have a fun season planned after Rento, right? We start April, and we'll have our Sunday streams, the 5th, the 12th, 19th, 26th. That will go into May with 5 more, and then it'll end in June with 3 more, and then Rento. It fits pretty well. These seasons of Gravity Max, they fit, 3 months at a time, so they fit with the seasons, which are, that's a fun fact, right? Um, we also have possibly a collaboration video coming up. We're not sure on the exact timeline yet. Things have been a little delayed. We'll have to conference, but look out for that. We have collaborated with another YouTuber, and I think it's going to be a great video once we're ready with it. So look out for that. But yeah, let's see. How long have I been streaming for? I've been streaming for, let's see. I have been streaming for about 36 minutes. Okay. So yeah, short little stream right here. Yeah, I guess not many people are in the chat right now, so I'll just end this stream fairly soon. But yeah, leave any comments of what you might want me to talk about in tomorrow's stream, and I'll see you guys then. So thank you all for watching. It is much appreciated. I hope that I brought you some entertainment, and I hope that you enjoyed watching my process of graphic design. So yeah, alright, I will see you guys tomorrow.